And we are continuing another episode of NBA 2K14, and the last episode, as the Miami Heat defeat the New York Knicks by 2-point win, led by LeBron James hit the game-winning shot, defeats over Carmelo Anthony by 115 to 113. And now we got the first two games here tonight. First game we're off to from downtown Los Angeles. Yes, inside the Staples Center, we got our superstar key matchup featuring LeBron James, Dwayne Wade of the Miami Heat take on Chris Paul and Blake Griffin of the Los Angeles Clippers. And I'm not gonna control Miami Heat, and in order most likely going to be defeat him against the Clippers team. And I'm gonna use the Clippers, gonna use the side of the controller, just like last matchup on November 7 when the Heat beat the Clippers in a tight game here in Miami by 3. So for this game, the Heat gonna use the black and the Clippers gonna use the white. That'll do it for now. This is Andre Genshin. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy the video here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And now we're going to send to Kevin Harlan here in Staples Center in LA. Anyways, let's get started. Enjoy the video. Here we go. Now.
Hello and welcome. I'm Damon Bruce here with you as we get ready for a little NBA action on 2K Sports. Wednesday night in the NBA, it's the Miami Heat facing off against the Los Angeles Clippers. And now, let's go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. Enjoy the first half. I'll be back with more at halftime.
Live from Los Angeles, we proudly bring you the Clippers at the Staples Center. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Jamal Crawford.
Oh, he's explosive, Kevin. I mean, a lot of time, all it takes is a basket or two to really get his motor running. And suddenly, he becomes almost impossible to handle. And you know what, Steve? His teammates love playing with because he gets them so many assists thanks to his catch-and-shoot ability. A lot of his buckets come right off the pass.
Looking at that last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a win against the Nuggets in Denver. And that result, guys, was a real shock. It was just about as complete a dominant performance as we've seen them.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. It seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter. You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. They had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense. Boy, he can be a matchup nightmare inside the paint.
You know, CP3 did a lot of things, guys, to change the culture of the Clippers, but one that maybe gets overlooked is how much he encourages and model talking on defense with this team. If you don't call out a screen or a rotation on his team, he'll call you out about it.
Here's Griffin after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Paul for three, and again, it's the Clippers from deep.
Pleasure to watch him work at that end of the floor.
And Chalmers kicks the box. LeBron.
That athletic play, incredible.
Wow. Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up. He gets up and stays up.
Boy, smooth and graceful. How about the hang time? That's impressive.
And we've seen the Clippers turn around over the last few years. It doesn't just happen purely with talent. Full of help, certainly. But, Steve, a lot of it has to do with the change in the team's mindset.
Yeah, you can load up a team with a bunch of scorers and talented players, but if they aren't playing for each other and motivated to have each other's backs, then it does nothing. And I think Paul has done
High wire flying out there.
That'll drop. The jaw.
The windmill finish. Now that's nasty. How do you do?
Finishes the play. Utter disregard for his own safety.
Look at his teammates. They're just shaking their heads. I mean, he must have told them to look out for that one.
Man, how about the dexterity for this big guy? I mean, he is really smooth around the basket. Well, when you talk about the most fearsome finishers in the league, you got to put Blake Griffin right at the top of the list. I mean, he's a high riser, and he's able to dunk with authority over the top of defenders like very few in the league can.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Took him no time at all on that one. 8 points for Chris Paul. The Heat have gotten all 5 of their shots to go down in the first quarter. Terrific start. Here's Chalmers. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. And with Griffin, the dunks always get top billing, but he is more than just a dunker, or at least would hope to be more than just a dunker.
Well, he's a rebounder and an underrated passer for a big man. His touch outside is improving as well, so this is what you want to see from Griffin. Just incremental improvement each year. Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3-ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
Now here's LeBron. Last game out, he had 40 points. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Kevin, I had a chance to talk with head coach Eric Spoelstra. He knows a big part of winning this game will come down to how well they can guard Blake Griffin. He said it all comes down to positioning and preventing him from getting inside, both on and off the ball. And guys, he's willing to concede some open jump shots to Griffin to do that. We'll see if Griffin can make him pay for it.
Thanks, Doris. Oh, wow, guys, doesn't look good. We've got an injury here.
And you see a player have to come out of the game like this. I mean, you just hope for the best.
That's exactly right. You do hope for the best. You cross your fingers, say a prayer, and hope it's nothing major. We'll see what the update is here shortly.
Greg Oden, he's checked in for Chris Bosh. And there's Battier. That's good on the assist from Cole.
What a start to this game. The offense is both dominating.
Tell you what, feels like a game on the playground. Forget about defense. Just keep firing.
He's good. 6 points for Jamal Crawford.
Well, they've settled into their offense very quickly here today.
Yeah, they're zoned in, making the most out of their possessions here. You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
Well, I'll bet his teammates love playing with him. He's distributing the ball perfectly.
Well, he keeps everybody happy, and you know what? The assist numbers don't lie.
Here's Cole. Terrific design on the big play, and he lays it in. Cole's got his first bucket in this one. And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And, Steve, you have to think that at least one or two of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
32 seconds left here in the first quarter. He kicks it to Oden. It's taken away by Collison. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
The Heat trail by 8. That's tipped. Out of bounds. The Clippers take possession.
Well, he just didn't make the catch. Didn't look the ball into his hands. He must have thought the ball was going somewhere else.
We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the first. Outside Oden. Back to Collison. Dishes to Reddick. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Reddick's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And as the first quarter wraps up, already a double-digit lead. Clippers lead by 11. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Thursday, February 6th, Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls go up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors. It's East and West. Make sure to catch it.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And the fact that they're playing well, close to the hoop, finding points in the paint, I mean, they've got it all going tonight.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Redick and Dudley filling out the perimeter. Byron Mullins is out there with Ryan Howland. And it's Carlson in the point. The blocking foul is called as the shot goes down. And Miami making a change here. The Clippers have shot just one free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game.
Jared Dudley out of Boston College in his 7th season already. A smart vet who knows where to be defensively. He knocks down shots. I like his game. He's a winning player because he does a lot of little things and is always ready to step into his role.
Anderson passes to Jones. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Let's go. Again, the Heat good for 2. Clippers leading by 10. And for Jared Dudley, Steve, you had a chance to be around him in your time in Phoenix.
Yeah, traded for him. That was the Raja Bell, Boris Diaw for Jason Richardson and Dudley trade. Pretty good deal for both teams, really. Dudley came into his own when he arrived in Phoenix, developed that three-point shot, but had always been a guy respected for his defense, for his work ethic, and his basketball IQ.
Former ACC Player of the Year. And Miami calls their first time out of the game. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have.
Wade, and another basket for Miami.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening, Steve.
No, it's off the charts. It really is. And defensively, I mean, they have to start shutting down some of those lanes to the hoop.
We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Chalmers against Paul. Nice shot from 10 feet out. Paul's got 10.
You know, the more shots like that he hits, guys, the more he's going to forget the pain he's playing through. Sometimes shot making can give you that added. Boost of adrenaline. Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points.
I like the simplicity.
But there was some style there, Kev. It was a pretty sweet one-handed flush.
And the pass to Dudley. Ball outside. Stolen by Chalmers. Here's Wade.
How about that basketball,
Wasn't that
man?
beautiful?
Wow. You know, sort of surprising he goes for a slam that difficult while they're trailing?
Yeah, but still, you know what? A magnificent move to the rim.
Agreed.
Guys, look, I don't know what the score is. That's the play we're all going to remember from this game.
Takes it from 10, and the Clippers getting another bucket right there.
Now, they read the defense perfectly that time.
You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
Good on the shot.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
And the Clippers making a switch here. Here now the league's highest scoring teams the past 10 games. What a stretch it has been for these guys. The Heat in second.
Well, this is only a trend over a few games out of a very, very long season. But the coach has got to be pleased that his team has been able to score big with some consistency.
The shot's good from Paul. And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they find the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, Battier coming in here as a stretch forward. They just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Griffin with the steal. Here's Crawford. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Crawford's got 8 points.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
And finished off by LeBron.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, man, he's got so much power.
1:04 left to play here in the second quarter. And stolen by LeBron. Here's Wade. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. 10 points for Dwayne Wade.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
And count it. Points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
This is what this team is all about here. I mean, they're forcing their way inside, just bulldozing themselves into the paint area, and they're having a lot of success.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Lamar Odom, who's checked in for Griffin. And it's Collison in for Chris Paul. And good on the basket. Book it. Clippers leading by 10. Back to Jordan. He passes to Barnes. Drains it from beyond the arc. Barnes has got 8 points.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Allen dishes to Cole. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Lamar Odom. That is his first foul of the game.
Oh, yeah, he had not established position.
You know, I prefer the refs to whistle with a block when in doubt. I thought that was a good call there.
Off the inbound pass. Cole's shot is good. Cole's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Their low post defense has to show some improvement, guys.
Yeah, of the last 10 points, Steve, 8 have come from in tight.
Maybe that'll get him going here in the second quarter and already knocked down 2 in the first.
Allen kicks to Cole. Again, the Heat good for 2.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Battier with the steal. With 1 on the clock, and that's not going to go. That'll do it for the first half. Los Angeles on top. They lead by 12. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Damon Bruce, and welcome to halftime. A terrific start for the Clippers. They're sitting in third in the conference, but they're right on track to make the playoffs. The first half for Chris Paul, one word, fantastic. We're at halftime, and still, he hasn't missed a shot. It's been a pure shooting exhibition. And a tough matchup, but the Heat staying afloat. They'd like to forget that first half. Coach has not been happy with what he's seen out there, and they'll likely come out with major adjustments. Through 2 quarters, LeBron in complete control. He's got 14 points, and his two-way play has been good. Very active on the defensive side of the floor, bothering shots and bringing that energy all over the court. Now let's check out the other games still in progress. Out in Houston, the Rockets ahead against Phoenix. Second half of play, still anybody's game. And another game going on. The Los Angeles Lakers right now trailing Cleveland out in Cleveland. Third quarter out there, but it's not a close one. And to look now at the rest of the action from around the NBA. Out in New Orleans Arena, it's the Pelicans trailing to Atlanta. About midway through the third out there. And that'll be our report. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back to Staples Center, and above it, downtown Los Angeles in the distance.
Paul's been great. He has 14 points and 6 assists. This is something special. I mean, he hasn't missed a single shot.
It's hard to find words to describe it.
Talk about the definition of a role player, guys. What the perfect role player should look like, I think it's Shane Battier. I mean, he's as good as it gets in that role. An elite defender, can guard anybody, and he can hit the three at a pretty good rate. Smart, good passer. Just the epitome of what you want in a role player.
And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. On the wings, it's D. Wade and LeBron James. Haslam and Bosh up front. And it's Chalmers in at the point. Paul passes to Griffin. Shoots a fader. Again, Los Angeles. And you know, you talk about Battier. He knows how to play his role. He doesn't try to do too much.
And he's got great basketball IQ. Understands angles and percentages. And seems to be able to guard about 3 different positions. And a terrific weak side defender. He's always the guy there waiting to take a charge.
Gets it to go.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
Yeah, the defense has been futile here. 5 of the last 6 field goals in the lane.
Chalmers with it, and Griffin picks him up defensively. LeBron kicks to Wade. Rejected by Jordan. That one goes. Count. Los Angeles leading by 8. Back to Paul. Up top, Griffin. And you can count it. Go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
It's kind of his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the defense and finish at the rim. Well, everybody knows around the league that if you get in Blake Griffin's way when he has a head of steam going, you're going to end up on his poster at some point. So, since coming into the league, I think he's become as intimidating a player as we've seen.
I agree. It's just not posterizing people either, Steve, although he does a bunch of that. When he gets a steal and has a free lane to the basket on a breakaway, there's a good chance the crowd's going to see a mini dunk contest from Blake.
And the rejection by Barnes. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Stolen by Chalmers. Ron right side. Puts the lead pass in front of him. That's good. Bosh has got 4 points in the quarter.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Park. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Myron Mullins is to screen for the Clippers. Reddick comes in for Jamal Crawford. Some serious agility coming out of the backcourt.
You know, that bucket might count for a little more than 2 points when he finishes with that kind of flourish.
Yeah, against a D that was already reeling a little bit. That was like a body blow.
Back to LeBron from outside the arc. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade. Wade's got his 4th assist in this one. Paul outside. He feeds it to Reddick. Barnes. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
And their field goal percentage continues to climb. They've really shot the ball well here today so far.
Yeah, and it's all about quality shot selection, smart shot selection. They've been very patient on offense. Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Clippers leading by 9.
You know, it's always fun to play the hypothetical game with players. One with LeBron is just how good is he? Would he be able to go deep in March Madness playing with a good high school team? It might not be as ridiculous as you think.
And some changes here for the Heat. Collins is checked in, and it's Crawford in for Matt Barnes. Wade outside. And that one's good. Wade's got 12 points in the game. And Clark, you talked about LeBron and the college level. He looks like he's playing against college players. You know, Steve, with his strength and his size.
Well, he can do everything. No matter what you ask of him on the floor, he can do it. He can play point guard. He can play power forward. And defensively, I mean, how about last year during the playoffs? 1 minute he's guarding David West. In the next series, he's guarding Tony Parker. So the versatility is just incredible.
Reddick with it. Wade picks him up. Stolen by Anderson. The drive by LeBron. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
impeccable mechanics this quarter. He's been perfect from the field.
Darren Collison is checked in for Chris Paul. The Heat shooting their first foul shot of the night. Free throw good, LeBron.
You know, every great player needs someone to push them to be better. LeBron said last year that, that's what Kevin Durant does with him. I think he works as hard as he does, knowing that Durant is coming to try to take his spot as the best player in the league.
Cole dishes to Haslam. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they move the goaltender.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
That whistle got a big response from this crowd, and it is not a favorable one, let's say.
I tell you what, the fans can't believe that they made that call.
The Heat making a switch here. Battier's checked in. And going back to LeBron for the time being, he's solidifying Clark as standing. I think everyone would agree is the best player in the NBA.
Well, how about 4 league MVP trophies to his credit? One of only 5 players in league history to win that many. One of only a few players to be both MVP of the league and MVP of the finals in the same year. Enough said.
We got 33 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Cole. He's covered by Collison. And Cole kicks to Haslam. The jump hook, and it's Miami with another.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Holland. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Collison's got his 5th assist in this one. Allen kicks to Cole. With 4 seconds on the clock, it's blocked. Got it off in time. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? Clippers lead by 9. And we'll have the start of the 4th quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break.
Tune in next Tuesday night, February 11th. The Atlanta Hawks take on Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. You don't want to miss it.
And the final period of play just about to start. And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Clippers.
Now we've seen them make that extra effort rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace and sending shots back.
Something that's also benefited them tonight are the turnovers they forced and the points that have come along with those forced turnovers.
Dudley and Griffin, your small and power forwards. CP3 at point with Redick there the backcourt. And it's Jordan in at the 5. That's who's out there for the Clippers. And it's Paul penetrating. And it's blocked by Chalmers. Wade from outside. And again, Miami with the triple.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Of course, they have to stay high. But if they do, I think you're right, Clark, particularly if they can convert defense into offense.
Chalmers against Paul. The trade. And LeBron gets it to go with the assist by Chalmers. 27 points for LeBron.
and this game is really heated up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, there's always room for more offense, Steve. You know that.
And the Clippers call time here. The Heat beat them last time when these two teams met down in South Florida.
Kevin, that game defensively was an absolute nightmare. They went into that building and just got blown out by a very hot team.
Well, they didn't defend those shooters like they should have, and once the fans got into it and the arena started rocking and thumping and bumping, things only got worse.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Griffin gets to Collison. Back to Griffin. Working on Bosch. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Now that will shoot one more at the free throw line.
His footwork in the low post is tremendous, almost ballerina-like. Griffin is doing amazing things on the court and off the court. I mean, his charisma and sense of humor really have made him one of the more marketable players in the entire league.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. The dish to Crawford. Griffin kicks to Crawford. Pass to Barnes. Lets the three fly. And again, it's the Clippers from deep. Going back to Griffin, he spent a summer interning with an LA-based comedy website. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a love for comedy, and playing in LA, that's a great opportunity for him to work on the entertainment side of things. And of course, he does have a real job with the Clippers. He's got to focus there.
He does. But those commercials he's in are fun.
They are good.
Yeah, they're good. An easy 2 points on the layup. And now it's a 12-point Clipper lead.
He's a big reason why they have the lead right now. He's made all of his field goal attempts thus far and remains hot from the floor.
LeBron James again. LeBron's got 9 points now in the quarter.
He has not lost his focus today. Even when things haven't gone his team's way, he's still bringing it.
Here's Collison. 3rd minute of action now gone here in the 4th. That's good.
I really thought they did a better job, a much better job of getting him inside in the first half. They got to get back to throwing it in the paint more here in the second. Darren Collison, DC as he's known, is a guy that does everything you want from a point guard at a decent level, but really doesn't excel at anything in a great fashion. Sort of falls into the jack-of-all-trades category.
Griffin goes in. He dishes it to Barnes. And there's a minute 45 left in the 4th. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him.
It seems like when they've gone to him, he's really come through. And that's not something they should get away from.
And Clark, you mentioned Collison not dominant in any one category. Steve, do you think that Darren Collison can improve?
Well, he can be a very good defender when he puts pressure on defenses. So he's got to focus on that end of the floor. And then offensively, probably shoots a little bit more often than he should. At that size, you know how hard he's going to get your team into an offense.
Chris Paul, he's checked in for Darren Collison.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Crawford against Wade. Kicks it to Chalmers. Griffin on the double team. Chalmers passes to Bosch. Shot clock at 6. Wade gets the bucket.
Well, his scoring this quarter has been off the charts, and the complexion of the game as a result may change.
Barnes. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And that's 18 points for Barnes. The Heat trail by 11. The shot by Wade, and there's another one for the Heat.
Man, he has been their unquestioned leader offensively this quarter.
Los Angeles has gone 2 of 3 in the 4th quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Crawford kicks to Paul. Buries the long-range jumper. And the Clippers lead by 12.
This guy will really make you pay if you leave him enough room outside.
Chalmers' shot is no good. LA's gone 3 of 4 from downtown here in the fourth. Griffin kicks to Barnes. And another 3 for the Clippers.
Well, this is going to seal the deal. They've really exploded here to the finish line.
You know, once they sniffed out that blood in the water, the killer instinct came right out.
Wade against Crawford. Back to Bosh. And Griffin sends it back. And it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. Shot clock at 3. Here's Cole. And they force the shot clock violation. Great team. And here is Odom. So the Clippers winning this one easily. Not much to be critical of with this ring, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
a huge win and dominate the best team, the defending champion, back-to-back Miami Heat, as the Clippers get an easy win, defeat the Miami Heat by 15 points. You see Chris Paul got 24 points and 10 assists. Matt Barnes got 21 points. Blake Griffin and Jamal Crawford got 16 points in a huge win for the Clippers. On the other hand, the Miami Heat, 35 points for LeBron James. Dwayne Wade got 24 points. Mario Chalmers got 9 points. So one a huge day, huge night for the LA Clippers as they dominate the defending back-to-back NBA champion Miami Heat, and now the Miami Heat are now crushing the 5th loss of the season. They first lose against the Dallas Mavericks. The second loss, it was the Denver Nuggets. The third loss, they lose to Philadelphia. And the fourth, it was the Atlanta Hawks. And a bad night for Miami Heat, are crushing the 5th loss of the season in 2014. And now we're off the second game here in the Amway Center in Orlando. The Eastern Conference new rosters and new rookies. We got the two of the Eastern Conference new rookie matchup featuring Josh Smith. Actually, we're gonna find it. That's not that one. Featuring Josh Smith and Andre Drummond of the Detroit Pistons take on Aaron Aflalo, Jamil Nelson, and Nikita Vucevic of the Orlando Magic. That should be a good one here in Orlando. That'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the huge night for Knob City Clippers as they take down the defending back-to-back NBA champion Miami Heat 110 to 95. This is Andre Kenshin. Say so from Staples Center in LA. We'll see you later for the second game here at the Amway Center in Orlando for the Detroit Pistons take on the Orlando Magic game. Sign up and peace out. Goodbye, and reminder, we'll see you later for the second game here at the Amway Center in Orlando for the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic. Sign up and peace out. Goodbye, and thanks for watching.